everyone, welcome back to Maybelline's Makeup Loft. My name's Bridget and I'm here to show you how I created this spring erasing makeup look. So if you love a bright pop of colour and makeup that's going to last all day and all night, you are definitely in the right place. So stay tuned, don't forget to like this video and subscribe to Maybelline's makeup channel, and let's get started. So to kick off our spring makeup tutorial today, we are of course going to start with a primer. Primer is always really important, but especially coming into your hotter months, it means that your makeup can be more affected by the heat. So the key to keeping it on is to always start with a primer, and that will help it last all day. Today I have chosen the Maybelline Face Studio Protecting Primer. This one has an SPF 8, so it is perfect if you're outdoors for a racing event and you need that protection from the sun, but the SPF isn't so high that you'll be affected by flashback if you're getting photos taken. So for me, my absolute perfect spring racing carnival hair and makeup look would be something flowy and flowery but with a pop of colour, but the absolute most important thing for me would be that it stays on a really long time. So I'm going to get started with my base today. I'm going to be using the Maybelline SuperStay 24-hour foundation. This one will not budge. When they say 24-hour, they mean it. Now to cover up these dark circles here and also to prepare my eyelids for eyeshadow, I'm going to take the Maybelline Master Conceal. This is definitely one of their fullest coverage concealers, so it will cover absolutely anything you need and it'll make you look nice and bright and fresh and awake. So I'm just going to take that on a sponge, pop it right underneath my eyes here, and then pop a tiny bit on my lids. Not too much because you don't want to pack your eyelid area with too much concealer, but just what's left over from underneath your eyes. So next up, I need to set my under eye concealer in place. So I'm going to do that using the Maybelline Fit Me Loose Finishing Powder. This one's in the shade Light. My absolute biggest tip when it comes to setting your under eyes in place is to do it basically as soon as you can. So once you finish with your concealer, go straight in with your powder, and this is just to avoid setting any creases in place. If you do notice that your concealer has settled into any fine lines under your eyes, just make sure you don't go ahead and set the powder on top of that, because what that will be doing is locking that in place, so you'll be able to see those creases all day. All you need to do is take your finger and really lightly press them out to smooth them over, and then pop your powder on top that way. Because this is a bright daytime look, I'm not going to go too heavy on the brows. I'm just going to take my Maybelline Tattoo Brow Pomade. This one's in the shade 03 Medium Brown. And I'm just going to draw a few hair strokes throughout my brow to keep it nice and natural and fluffy looking. So I'm just going to start by using the spoolie end of this brush, and I'm just going to brush all of my eyebrows up. This is also perfect because it means that any excess foundation or powder that you might have through your brows gets eliminated, so you can see the true shape and colour of your brow. And I'm just going to take this brow pomade, wipe off the excess on the back of my hand so it's not too heavy, and add a few little hair strokes throughout. So for my spring racing look today, I've chosen to use the Maybelline Lemonade Craze Palette for my eyes. This palette is full of beautiful neutrals and beautiful shimmers, but it's got a few bright pops of colour in there, which is really what I'm hoping to see on the racing circuit this year. Beautiful, refined, glowy looks with one big punch of colour. I'm going to keep the eyes fairly neutral with a few little coral tones through there, and then a bright punch of colour on the lip with a nice bright orange lip. I'm going to take the colour Sweet Tea and place that just in my crease area. Then I'm going to take a tiny little hint of the shade Old Fashioned, and I'm going to pop that through the crease as well, just to deepen it a little. And then lastly, we're just going to take the shade Main Squeeze, and we're just going to take that on a nice fresh brush and press that in the center of the lid. This is such a beautiful shimmery shade. It really makes the eyes pop and just freshens them up a little bit from those dark colors that we used. The mascara that I'm using today is the Maybelline Lash Sensational. It is definitely my favorite mascara from Maybelline because it has a curved brush, but it's also a plastic bristle brush, so it grabs onto every little lash and coats it evenly. And of course, a spring race day look wouldn't be complete without a set of falsies. So now that our lashes are on, we do need to even out our lower lash line. So we're just going to take the exact same palette and the exact same shades that we used up top. So I'm going to take the shade Sweet Tea and just run that along my lower lash line. And now just taking that Old Fashioned shade, I'm going to run that along the bottom as well. And lastly, of course, we will finish our bottom lashes with a little bit of mascara. So taking that Maybelline Lash Sensational Mascara again, I'm just going to pop a touch on my lower lashes. And now taking the Maybelline Master Chrome Highlight in the shade Molten Gold, I'm just going to take a touch of that and pop it on my inner corners. Now don't worry, I haven't forgot about the rest of my face. I'm going to take my Maybelline City Bronzer in the shade 300 Deep Cool, and I'm going to use that to contour and bronze my face. I'm then going to take this same shade to contour my nose. So to highlight my face, I'm just going to be using the Maybelline Master Chrome Highlight again, but this time in the shade Molten Rose Gold, which is just a slightly more pink toned version. Because I'm not fake tanned at the moment, it's just a bit more suited to my skin tone. But if you have fake tan for race day, go ahead and use the Molten Gold instead. And this is definitely the finishing touch, the pop of colour that I think is an absolute must for springtime. This is the shade Heroine in the SuperStay Matte Ink. And the last step in this tutorial is to set everything in place. So I'm going to be using the Maybelline Master Fix Makeup Setting Spray. This one helps your makeup last for up to 16 hours, so it is perfect for a day out. So I'm just going to spritz that in an X formation. And now you can just finish with your race day accessories, whether that is a flower crown or a fascinator or a hat, and you are ready to go. Because the makeup we've applied has done with a primer, it's been done with 24-hour foundation, and it's been set in place with powder and setting spray, you really won't need much in the way of touch-ups. But because this is a bright lip, I will always take the lip color with me just to avoid any issues. Because we applied primer and a 24-hour foundation and set it down with powder and a setting spray, you really shouldn't need anything to touch up, but always when you're wearing a bright lip, it's handy to have the lip color on you just in case. So I'm definitely going to be taking my Maybelline SuperStay lip color in the shade Heroine. I hope you guys really enjoyed this springtime racing makeup tutorial. I hope that you guys love it and it lasts you all day throughout all of your racing events. I will see you guys soon.